WagerTalk You Pick special is live, giving you the option to pick the league of your choice and get 30 days of picks for only $99. 30 days of the NFL for $99, done. Just want NBA and NHL for the next month? You can do that for only $99 each. That's right, $99 gets you every release from the league of your choice from your favorite handicapper, including 5% best bets for 30 days. No coupon code is required, and 30-day sports passes will go back to regular price Sunday at midnight. So lock in as many sports and handicappers for only $99 before time runs out.
Happy Tuesday, guys. Welcome back right here to WagerTalk TV. This is Puck Time. I'm Andrew McInnis. I have Carmine and Bianco with me and Buster Sports. We got a great slate here today. We have 4 games to discuss. We have best bets at the end, some great promos to go over. Just 2 games yesterday. Both favorites hit. Totals go 1-1 to the under and the over. I hope you guys grabbed Prez's 5% play yesterday on Columbus. We tried to advertise for him here on the show, Carm. And, man, that was drama-filled. But we also mentioned Tampa Bay Lightning, that we're looking to fade this Islanders team at the end of their road trip. And, pretty weak performance out of them. So the Lightning get the job done. And the Islanders, well, they have a back-to-back. They're playing again today against the Panthers. But 4 games to discuss today. It's going to be the Hurricanes and the Golden Knights, Canadiens, Rangers, Oilers and Jets, and the Predators and the Maple Leafs. Carm, I'll throw it to you, man. How was your night last night?
My night was quiet last night. As I said, I didn't have any client plays in NHL. I did give the under in the Tampa one that looked like it was done and dead after the first period, under 5.5, and you get 3 goals in the first period. That looks like it's done and dead, but 4-1 final there. A chippy game. I watched the highlights of it. I didn't watch any sports last night. I just bet the 49ers Monday Night Football. I took the points. I took the under in the Tampa game. And I watched Netflix with the wife. So I took the sports night off and cashed a couple tickets while doing so. So I was pretty happy. And yeah, my phone blew up, as did yours, Andrew, with the Prez. Because whenever he's got a 5% play, he just literally feels the need to message us about 80 times during the night. So I had to turn off my phone at one point, as you know. So, but I'm looking forward to tonight. Just finished doing stoppage time with Kevin Dolan, Nick Borman, and Pavlos Lagaretos. We're doing this show now with our good friend Don Buster, and then Wager Talk today at noon, where I'll talk a couple NHL games as well too. So tune in at the top of the hour for that one. Speaking of our man Buster, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Carmine. Kind of struggled the last couple of weeks here, but then on Sunday I hit for a 55-1 shot with my golf, and things are all right with the world a bit now again, but need to get better with this hockey. I was doing really well when everybody was having trouble at the beginning of the year. I wasn't saying much, but I was having a good run. And again, I think we've talked about this many a times. If you don't win those OT games, it's very tough to get a streak going. And again, lost another one on the weekend. Had Florida against Tampa Bay, but we're all good, positive, and we're going to make up for this second half. And hitting that 55-1 shot will get me on a streak pretty nice. So looking forward to the next couple of weeks in NHL, college football, college basketball has started. So it's all good. And I'm glad to see Andrew's back for this week. I missed him last week with Carmine picking on me a bit. Nah, not really. Andrew, you should have seen how nice he was to me. I was almost wondering, like, geez, this isn't like Carmine to be this nice to me. So I'm not sure.
He didn't have me on.
Buster,
he didn't have me on to play the good cop, bad cop role, so he had to choose.
Oh, that's what it is.
Buster,
okay.
Buster, listen. I'm nice. I'm nice to absolutely everyone. It's the only way to live your life. Each day, try and be a better version of yourself each and every day, and you'll be a happy man. I try and comment to the guys in our chat when it's live or when it's posted later, or asking any questions and stuff. Every once in a while, you'll get someone who takes a shot at you. I don't know why they do it, but just enjoy your life, live it every day, and the rest will fall into place, Buster. There's your motivational for this morning. You can go and do namaste on the beach in Mexico after this.
So not only does Carmine work at WagerTalk.com, Not only does he have a business background, but he also works for Hallmark. Wow. Motivational speaker. He writes greeting motivational cards. I mean, if you guys need a Christmas card, call Carm as well. I'm sure he's making those too. Geez, Carm, you just got me fired up for the rest of my day right now.
Can you imagine, in all honesty, can you imagine if the Prez actually worked at Hallmark, what the cards would sound like? It would be just, roses are red, violets are blue. I can't believe I lost another game too, right? It's just, that's what it'd be. Every single, his Hallmark cards would be the worst. Absolutely.
Well, Carmine, everyone knows that you're one of the nicest guys going out there, and I know that firsthand. But like I say, on the show, we like to get into it a little bit, and we haven't been able to this year. So I was like a little surprised when I was going on about the Montreal game, which you put out again this week, mind you. So I'll have something to say then. But
it's because both our teams suck. It's as the bottom line, the Sabres and the Canadiens. That's what it is.
There's no ball busting each other then, I guess, right?
The fact of the matter is, Carmine wants a disagreement on this show. We'll just see where it comes in these 4 games. But, Carm, I would say we should clip up what you just said about Prez there, but it probably is for the best for all of us, just that we just don't keep it between all of us, keep it between all the people watching, and we'll keep that off Twitter. But, I think everybody making Hallmark cards at WagerTalk might be unsuccessful, to say the least. I don't know how much those would sell. But our first game up that we are going to discuss, we have the Carolina Hurricanes and the Vegas Golden Knights. Vegas Golden Knights, guys, it's interesting for them. They're plus 110. Home dogs here. Carolina minus 130 on the road. Totals at 5.5 here. But this Vegas team, after slumping when they had players that were out, key players that were out for them, they now look like they are back. They have won 8 of their last 10 games. They have scored. They've started to find themselves again. Mark Stone has returned to their lineup. It seems like all is well in Sin City for this Las Vegas team. And now I feel like the market might be a little bit off with them. We'll have to start to see. Carolina, on the other hand, they're minus 130 on the road. However, they haven't played their best hockey recently, and I'm curious what you guys think about that. For me, I expect goals here. Vegas has plenty of confidence right now. They've got a lot of shots each game. They're moving the puck up the ice very nice. And Carolina, I still believe they have 3 lines that can score. And against this Vegas team that plays a very fast style of hockey, I feel like it works out really well here for an over 5.5. So that's where I'm going. And I'll throw it to you first, Carm.
Yeah, I think we're going to see some goals here. I mentioned, I actually tweeted it out last night that when I looked at the overnight lines, I thought the Vegas Golden Knights total of 5.5 in this game was a little low, a half goal low. I think this total should be at a 6, and I see 6 popping up across a few of the books. So if you grab 5.5, I think you're better off. The 5.5s are still out there. You're gonna have to lay some juice on it. I think about minus 130 now. And Andrew, I get your thing about the Vegas playing better, but again, you got to look at sometimes at their schedule. You can only play who they put in front of you, but a Vancouver team that is struggling right now, Seattle Kraken, Detroit Red Wings, Montreal Canadiens, Ottawa Senators, Anaheim Ducks, the Dallas Stars. These are the teams they've beaten. They've got maybe 2 quality wins in those 8 wins that you mentioned, and that was over the Minnesota Wild 3-2 and over Colorado 3-1, which was at the start of this whole injury thing with them. They lose a couple additional players. Carrier goes onto the COVID list. Martinez with an injury as well too. So Stone coming back helps the team, but that injury list gets a little longer for this team. I just think this Carolina team is a better team right now, and likely will be come the end of the season. I'm going to see some goals. Laners 4-3 at home with a 3.00 goals against average. I'm leaning Carolina here, and I'm also leaning to the total of 5.5. This is one of those ones where if the juice was minimal, you could take Carolina. You could also take the over. And if Carolina scores at least 3 in the game, you can't lose both bets. You're going to win one of them, and likely you could win both. I'm looking for Carolina. Let's give it one of those 4-2 games for the Hurricanes against the Knights. Buster.
Well, Carmine, looks like you might have actually stole my notes. I'm not too sure. I'm with you guys on this game. I actually do like it over, but I did see a bunch of 6s now, so I'm not sure if I'll bet it over the 6. And like you said, 5.5, 130, sometimes a little steep. But you guys make great points for the over. I like Carolina here. First game of a 6-game road trip. We've talked about this time and time again. That first game is a game that these guys want to go, probably put their best foot forward to win this one. And we also, for us, that first game that they're playing now, if you look at their schedule, Carmine, which you obviously have because you've made a bunch of points there, which I'm going to probably get to as well. This is their toughest game. The rest of the game's on the road. So if they can get this one, they could easily win all 6 games. I mean, it's like they got a really good club. What I also like tonight, Anderson should be back in nets. He didn't play Saturday, and that's always good for Carolina. And like Andrew has been saying, props to Vegas. They've been playing really well without a lot of their players. Stone is back. I really do not believe that's going to be enough because Carmine mentioned Vegas hasn't, and again, they can only play who they play, but they got beat by Toronto, Islanders, Edmonton, St. Louis. We're not too sure what the Islanders are, but they are on a 13-game road streak, so I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt a little bit. I think they're a better team than what they're showing lately. And they beat Colorado in a mini, but I believe that Colorado was first game of the road trip too. So, but to me, this is a big step up in caliber for these guys, right? The top teams that I think we might all agree on this are from the East, like Carolina, Tampa Bay, Florida. Those guys seem, above the other clubs, even maybe all the clubs in the West, even though, Colorado, Vegas, these guys will step up their game, but not right now. Right now for us, I like Carolina, and I can see the over 2, but we've already gave out Carolina to our clients, so that's our play, Carolina.
And regarding the, you can only play who's in front of you. I always agree with that. And I'm the one that I like to say that stuff as well, Buster. And when I look at who they have played recently, I'm talking about Vegas here. It's true. I mean, looking at teams like Detroit who have a bright future, I think, but they've struggled. But you look at teams that they've gone against that have some talent and have some skill. They've been able to put the puck in the back of the net against them, and they've been able to score. I know they're playing at home, and Robin Lehner has been a lot better at home, but I'm with you guys on Carolina. I think it's a pretty fair price. And to your guys' point, maybe Vegas comes in with some confidence, feeling maybe too good about themselves at home. And Carolina, they want to get this road trip off to a good start. So I'm right there with you. Make sure you guys check out Don Buster over at sportsmemo.com. Check it out. That big golf winner, man. I got to get you to start sending me these. I mean, what's going on, Buster? You come on here every month and a half and you're like, yeah, I just hit an 80-1, 55-1, mucho cerveza for everybody around the block. I mean, come on, man. Where's the spread the love for us?
I'll tell you, Andrew, full disclosure, for about 6 months there, like about a year ago, I went over. I just couldn't get a winner. And but this year, I think that's my 8th one, from the beginning of about March. That's my 8th outright winner. And I mean, I had Sam Burns at 80-1. I had that Mito Pereiro. I had that Garrick Higo at 50-1. And now everybody's saying, yeah, it's easy to do if you put 10 or 12 guys out. No. I only put 3 or 4 out a week. That's it. 3 or 4 outright winners. That's it. And I have this little system I've been using, and since I started, it's been working. There's no answers to it. It's been working for me. My All Access clients are very glad it's been working for me because, like I say, when you're struggling in a couple other sports, you hit a big win like that, and all is a little bit forgotten then. So I'm just going to keep going with it, and we'll see what happens. There's no reason why I can't pick another winner this week.
Yeah, definitely not. Make sure you guys check him out. Check out Don Buster. While I have you, Buster, I'll go right back to you. Carmine, he does select the games probably 8 times out of 10. He's the one that makes the games that we talk about for our 4 big games. The next game we're discussing, the Rangers and the Montreal Canadiens. I got to get your thoughts here on the Canadiens here and the Rangers. Sammy Blais. He just went out with an ACL injury. That injury was really tough to watch. I pretty much knew the second that I saw it, it was going to be an ACL. You hate to see those injuries all the time, but I'll say that it hurts the depth of this team. He was a great young player for them, created a lot for them. The Rangers are minus 195 at home. The Habs, they're plus 165. Road dogs here. 5.5 the total here. What's your play, Buster?
Yeah, well, as I was talking a little earlier there about how Carmine was being real nice to me, but he keeps putting these Montreal games out, knowing that I'm a lifelong fan and really don't want to discuss this kind of team. But like as Carmine says, I know this team as well as anybody. So if we can help people make a little money on this, I will. I'll go through it. Looks like Montreal has that Stanley Cup hangover, right? And maybe not until Price gets a net, not until that defense steps up, they're going to struggle. I actually been watching the games because I am a Montreal fan, and you got to take the good with the bad sometimes. And they actually played. I'll say they played okay the other night in Boston. I had the game on when I was watching the Raider KC game, and they're up 2-1. But they were getting outshot. I think Boston had 32 shots on goal or something like that. And this after 2 periods, and Sam's standing on his head. But again, then they give up those. They're just a very frustrating team to watch here. So it looks like Primo might be a net tonight, and so we'll see. I kind of like the under here. They've already played this team before. It was a 3-1 game. So I am leaning on the under. Shesterkin will be a net for the Rangers. And you know what? Montreal has trouble scoring, right? You know what I mean? So they played 3-1 last time. Wouldn't shock me to be 3-1 again. People that want to bet the Rangers in regulation, I think they're only 115. So that seems like a pretty good play to me, right? But with Montreal, they're 1-10 in their last 11 road games. So for me, can't bet against my team. So I'm going to take the under 5.5 here.
Under 5.5. I'm right there with you. I expect a low-scoring game, although, hate to say it, Buster, haven't been impressed with the decor of the Canadiens this year. I've always kind of tried my best to look at what Marc Bergevin has done and try and see the bright side of it, but picking up guys like Savard and Weidman and even people out there like Petrie right now aren't playing great. And speaking of Jeff Petrie, he's the one that was involved in that play that sent a player into Jake Allen. And now Jake Allen is injured, like you said. So right now, no Carey Price, no Jake Allen. I don't think any other team in the league right now has, their third and fourth stringers as their current goaltender. So a tough situation for them there. Carm, I never do this stuff on the show, and this is probably going to surprise you because I mentioned this before that I usually do these only in the playoffs. I actually kind of have a lean towards the draw in this game. I'm looking at plus 340 here. I feel like these two teams have a history. It could be a real low-scoring game, tight checking. And Caden Primo is a goaltender that he needs a big game. I mean, when goalies go down, especially, Carey Price not being there, Jake Allen not being there, now you have Montembeault who played, I think, 2 straight games. If we see Primo tonight like expected, he needs to have a big game, and they have to play well in front of him. I like the under just like Buster, but I actually might put like quarter unit here on the draw plus 340. And I know Carm's going to say, no, the Rangers are going to win like 5-0. But there's great value there, Carm, and I like it. I never really give these out.
It's much like Sandy Koufax of the Los Angeles Dodgers, the best curveball pitcher. I'm throwing a curveball at you boys with this game, and is why I put this on today's card to discuss. Listen, this is one of those games, much like the Tampa under yesterday, that I did not give out to my clients. I gave it out as a show best bet, and it's one where I put some pizza money on. I am taking the Montreal Canadiens plus 170 tonight. And here's my theory on why I'll take a shot, some pizza money on this one. The Habs, believe it or not, have been playing a little bit better of late. That game in Boston where they lost 5-2, 4 goals scored by Boston in that third period of that game. Their games before that, they played Detroit into overtime, a tough game. They never gave up before losing that one. A very good game against the Calgary Flames at home, winning 4-2. The game before that against a red-hot LA Kings team that had just won in Toronto the night before, losing 3-2 again in OT. The team is playing better. At some point, the wins will come. Rangers off 3 very tough games against the Florida Panthers, Columbus, Blue Jackets, and the Devils, and this is their 3rd game in 4 nights. It's one of those ones where the next day you're talking about what game blew up your parlay, and then you wonder why or how the Rangers minus 200 blew up your parlay. This could be one of the reasons why. Sometimes the stars line up. Now, it could be 5-0, like you said, for the Rangers at the end of the night, Andrew. But I'm willing to throw a little bit of pizza money on this Montreal team getting plus 170 tonight in a spot where nobody thinks they can win. I think they've got a shot. So I'm going to take Montreal plus 170. There's my curveball.
That is definitely a curveball. I'm used to Carm going against the Canadiens, but as he said, there's some great value there. I'm not sure I'd want to go minus 190 or minus 200 on the Rangers tonight. And it's a good point that you mentioned, Carm. They are playing good hockey. It's just that blow up. Buster touched on it. The blow up in the Boston game was hard for me to fathom. Watch the game.
It was very hard to watch.
Yeah, Buster, I took the new puppy out for a walk at the start of the third period, came in, and they're down 4-2. It was a great 2-2 hockey game. Enjoying my Sunday afternoon, and then that happens, but it should be interesting to see how the Rangers fare tonight.
As I said, Andrew, it's they're very tough to watch right now, especially if you're a diehard fan like we are. And you know what, though? Maybe Primo can stop 40 shots tonight, have a grind-out game, and hopefully for Carmine, he wins his bet. Like, I'm all with that. I won't be putting my money on it, but like I said, I think it might be a solid under tonight. I think we could maybe all agree that that's the only way Montreal even has a chance to win. If they try to open it up, they're done.
I would agree with that. Before we jump into our next game, which involves the Edmonton Oilers and the Winnipeg Jets, I just want to go to Buster and ask what he has up at Sports Memo and let us know what he has up for the rest of the week. What's going on, Buster, with you?
Yeah, Andrew. I have college football, NHL double play up there for tonight at Sports Memo. Also have a 5% for CFL for Saturday. Found the lines came out on Monday for the first time. Maybe I don't know how long, because usually historically they come out on Tuesday afternoon. But this year they haven't even been putting CFL lines out at all. But there is a game tonight. And for some reason, they put out a bunch of games, and there was a couple of games they made a very big mistake on, like right off, big mistake. Like in Vegas doesn't do that, but they made a big mistake, in my opinion. And one of them we got up there. It's already lost a bunch of value, but we still like it, and might have to pull it down come Thursday or Friday. But yeah, we have that up there, and we only have it for $9 because we've done that the last 3 weeks. We've hit the last 3 weeks. We put out a 5%er for $9, and we're 3-0. So looking to go 4-0 here for sure with a great line.
Great stuff, Buster. I love the CFL, but I will say you are a CFL betting machine. And I look forward to hopefully one day maybe catching the game together. But I know that you're usually in Mexico, so it'll have to be in the summer that we watch that game together. But
well, you know what, Andrew? Yeah, if I didn't hate snow so much and didn't hate going back to Canada in the wintertime, I'd be at the Grey Cup with you. Like I say, our buddy there has he has some tickets, and he has a lot of connections in Hamilton. His brother is one of my best friends for 35 years. Not that Robbie's a very good friend of mine as well, too. So I actually introduced him to Carmine because he wanted to find out, hey, you're on that site. Is there a guy that I love betting soccer? And I introduced him to Carmine, and now they have a friendship for life, and he's a very good customer of WagerTalk. But anyways, we should move on.
Yeah, I'm super grateful for that, though, and I can't wait for the experience. And just real quick, you're right, Buster. Those lines never used to come out early, so nice to see that happen. Carmine, what do you have up for the rest of the week?
Yeah, a couple games going today. Final day of World Cup qualifying in Europe. A couple games, they go at 2:45. I really like both of them, so of course, which is why they're up for my clients. And a couple of games in NHL for tonight. I'm likely going to add a third and fourth smaller plays, but plays that I do like. I normally don't like to go with these big 3 and 4 game cards, but I'm on a 7-0 run, so hope to keep it going with a couple of winners at the very least tonight. Andrew?
Great stuff. Make sure you guys grab Carm's soccer action and 7-0 NHL run. Gotta love that. I have a 5% play up tonight in the NHL, guys. Don't release too often. Don't release too many of these. But really love this situational play. A lot of great things add up for this play. And you get full analysis when you buy that play over at WagerTalk.com. 21-11 run on these 5% plays dating back to 2019. So check that out at my capper page. Let's keep this show on the road. Edmonton and Winnipeg. We have Edmonton on the road, -115. Short favorites here against the Winnipeg team that lately has been pretty exciting to watch. They're getting things together. They're finding their touch. The scorers are starting to do their thing. Mark Scheifele had an outstanding top corner overtime winning goal the other night. But let's be honest, fellas, this Edmonton team is fun to watch. I mean, they are exciting. I bet you the Leafs aren't liking watching what Zach Hyman is doing right now in Edmonton, because he seems to be the perfect fit for the Edmonton Oilers, a great 200-foot player. And I saw something, guys, that was quite interesting to me. The Edmonton Oilers obviously have had a great season, but we all know they're two players. They are leading the way big time. Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, those two guys, Buster and Carm, they have more points combined, just the two of them, than the entire Arizona Coyotes roster has altogether, than the entire New York Islanders roster has altogether. You throw in Zach Hyman, that's almost as many points altogether as the Montreal Canadiens top forwards have. It's just absolutely ridiculous what this team has done. You've got guys like Jesse Puljujarvi, Yamamoto. I have to say that since I started with WagerTalk, I'd come on these shows and say there's no supporting cast for the Edmonton Oilers. And I do believe they finally have found some supporting casts, along with that great power play they have and some decent goaltending. I like the Oilers here. I think the Winnipeg Jets are playing better hockey, but I like the Oilers to get the job done. Buster, what do you think about this game, and what are your thoughts there about the depth of this Edmonton team improving?
Well, I don't really want to go into the whole depth of this Edmonton team. There, obviously, it's really helped them. There's no doubt they look like a lot better team. But again, I'm one of the guys that aren't in love with Edmonton as much as everybody else is. They're going to be, of course, for the regular season. Yeah, they're going to win a lot. But come playoff time, I see the same maybe problems that they're going to have. But that's for another day. It's going to be the first game that we disagree, Andrew. I'm with Winnipeg here. I think this could be a good contrarian spot. I know Edmonton's only a small road favorite right now, but everybody, a lot of these teams, people just love jumping on. It's Edmonton. Okay, they're only laying 110, 115. Okay, and then that line might get up to 130 later this afternoon. So I'm going to wait on that. It's a back-to-back games with these guys. They play again in Edmonton on Thursday night. 2-2 on this road trip. This is the last game of the road trip. So you never know. Edmonton might not have their best game. It's funny, though. 2-2 on this road trip. They beat Boston. They beat St. Louis, but they lose to Buffalo and Detroit. So that's always a cause for pause for me when betting this club as well. And quietly, Winnipeg has won 8 out of 11 games. I mean, to me, like I say, I'm waiting to get a better price. I don't really want Winnipeg at even money. But and as far as the total goes here, I think 6 is the right number. I mean, the way Edmonton scores, you might want to put over. But, I mean, then again, Winnipeg plays a lot of unders and at home. So, but there's a nice stat for me, I'm leaving the total away. But there is a nice stat for the over between these guys, 9-3, last 12 in Winnipeg. So if you like the over, I can see that. But for me, yeah, we're going to take the Jets if we can get a little bit more money.
All right, it's all good to disagree. It didn't take, right away starting the show out, but eventually we got there. I got to ask you, Carm, you talk a lot about scheduling, and I know it's part of your handicapping quite a bit. The schedule has been a little bit kinder to Winnipeg recently. Do you feel like that impacts them positively here in this matchup, or maybe negatively for a letdown spot?
I think momentum-wise, it helps them. Again, you can only play who they put in front of you, but they're playing well. Their last 10, they only have 1 regulation loss, 8 wins. 7 wins in those 10, a couple OT losses, and then the 2-0 loss at home to the Islanders. There's still some 6.5s out there. I'm not really sure why they are still out there, because I do like the under in this game. Winnipeg's last 8 games, 6-1-1 to the under at home, 4-0-1 to the under. Edmonton's obviously coming in. We didn't talk about this, or it hasn't been mentioned yet. Maybe a little bit of revenge They're looking to exact on this Winnipeg team that bounced them in 4 straight in the playoffs last season. So it was a frustrating time for Edmonton. If you watch those games, that secondary scoring that you talked about, it wasn't there. Winnipeg shut them down. They shut down that top line, and Edmonton could never get anything going. And they were tight checking games. Edmonton seems to struggle against teams that play tighter checking games. You look at this 4-game road trip thus far, and they've kind of zigzagged in their games. They lost at Detroit. Detroit played a masterful defensive game. They're winning 4-2 in that one. Then they go to Boston, win 5-3, and then lose to the Sabres 3-2. The Sabres, I think, if you watch that game, Andrew, and I did watch it, they outskated Edmonton. That's something you don't see happen very often. And then Edmonton followed up with a 5-4 win in St. Louis. So a little bit of Jekyll and Hyde kind of thus far through 4 games on this road trip. And now they face a Winnipeg team that will check you into the ground, playing well. Just 6.5 seems like too much. If you can still grab one of those 6.5s, I would take the under here. As far as the side, I won't take either side. I don't like either side. I'm going to lean to the under in this game.
All right, a lean towards the under for Mr. Bianco. Guys, one last game before we jump into best bets on the show. We have Nashville and Toronto going head-to-head. And Toronto, they've looked solid lately. They're minus 200 at home. Nashville plus 170 on the road. And Carm, I'm going to sound like a broken record, and I'm also kind of losing my voice here, so I'm going to throw it to you. But I'll say this. This Maple Leafs team lives and dies by their top players, but it doesn't matter when it works. Right now, I believe the number is 16 of their last 19 goals have been scored by the Big Four, something of that nature, maybe 16 of the last 20. And to me, when you start seeing guys like Casta and Bunting and all these guys getting involved, that's what makes this team better. But for me, I still worry that long-term, relying on 4 guys to do the bulk of your scoring might not be great for you. However, Nashville, all the analytics for them, they're kind of overachieving. Are you with me on that?
I am with you. I think they are overachieving. This is probably one of those ones where it's not on my card. If I do take it, I likely will take the Leafs in regulation time, even though we do see Nashville get a lot of games to OT, and they pick up those points. They've only lost 2 of their last 10. I think only 1 in regulation time, 5-2 to the Edmonton Oilers in Edmonton. And we talk about like the Leafs playing a different style. I think they're playing a better defensive game now than they were last season. Maybe this bodes well for them as the season progresses and maybe in the playoffs. But they're winning games. It's the same thing. They threw in a clunker against the LA Kings, but they rebounded from that with 3 straight wins, beating Philadelphia, Calgary, and Buffalo. They're winning. They're getting scoring. They're playing some decent and good defense. This is one of those ones where I likely take the Leafs in regulation time and hope they get it done.
What about you, Buster? Is it a big game for the Leafs to keep rolling, or is it maybe an upset-worthy game?
I actually agree with Carmine here. Real bad scheduling spot for Nashville. They played 6 on the road, went home, beat Arizona, and now they have 2 more on the road. It was actually supposed to be 3 more on the road, but now with Ottawa canceling all those games. So, but as Carmine said, Nashville has won 8 out of 10. Toronto's won 8 out of 9. Of course, we can't lay 190. That'll never happen. I do agree with Carmine. I think the play is Toronto regulation, but I believe it's like 130. So that's a little steep. And just for me personally, I've bet Toronto regulation 3 times this year. And I think 2 of those 3 games went to overtime, and then Toronto won in overtime. It's just like one of those things to, because I hate Leafs so much that they just give me a little shtick, you know what I'm saying? But the total here I see is 5.5. If it got to 6 this afternoon, I think the under is a play there. Lots of trends leaning to the under. But again, it's hard to bet a 5.5 under with Toronto. And because that power play can put a bunch of pucks in the net. I also almost looked at this game for Toronto first period, but that play I like to do with Toronto first period puck line -0.5 with some big plus money. But I'm not too sure about that. So I found another game that I liked a little bit more. But I'm with Carmine here. If you got to bet this game, it's going to be Toronto in regulation.
And we'll get that famous first period play from Buster coming up next year on the best bets. Well, as far as the total goes for this game, Buster is right. It's hard to bet an under 5.5 with this Maple Leafs team. But the fact of the matter is, it's time to finally maybe give them some respect defensively. It's hard for me to even spit these words out of my mouth, but they have actually played some lower scoring games lately. But to Buster's point, one or two power plays, one or two odd man rushes, and all of a sudden it's a completely different hockey game. And we've seen games in the Maple Leafs be really, really tight, low scoring, Buster, for 1 to 2 periods. In the third period, if you have an under, good luck, because it might just be an explosion. So I'm with you on that, and I feel like it is a tough spot for Nashville. So let's get to best bets, guys. Let's one last time let people know what we have up for grabs tonight. And I'll start things off this time around. I'll start things off and let everybody know again about my 5% NHL play up at WagerTalk.com, or you can use my short link, wt.buzz/AM. Right now at WagerTalk, we do have that deal. You can get NBA or NHL, pick a sport, pick your capper, get that sport for $99 for the entire month. So guys, instead of buying my 5% play tonight, which is on a 21-11 run, just buy the month for $99. Get every single play I release for 30 days rather than just buying that one play. But my best bet that I'm going to roll with is Carolina and Vegas over the total of 5.5. I've seen Vegas involved in some higher scoring games lately, at least for themselves, putting up those numbers. I expect them to have some scoring back in their lineup again. And the injuries they have, I'm not really concerned about the scoring as far as their injuries. Actually, the injuries they have, I think, affect them defensively. Both forwards that play well defensively and lockdown defensemen that are injured for them. So that should help us see some more offensive play out there and some more goal-scoring capability. Carolina, I love this team as far as 3 lines. Lots of depth for them, lots of goal-scoring ability, and we're getting just a 5.5 as the total. So for me, over 5.5, Vegas and Carolina, nice late-night game for the best bet. Carm, what about you, man? What's the best bet for tonight?
All right, that deal is good. Definitely take advantage of that $99 any sport for 1 month package for any of the guys on the show and myself, of course. It's a great deal. Like I said, 2 plays up in NHL, may add a 3rd and 4th this afternoon. A couple games this afternoon in European World Cup qualifying. My show best bet, I had an under yesterday in the Tampa one. One of the guys in our chat jacket reminded me that I actually did predict the correct score of 4-1. I just kind of threw that one out there. I'm going to throw another one out there. I'm going to take the under again in the Philadelphia and Calgary game. Philly 7-1 to the under their last 8 games. Calgary 3-0-2 their last 5, and 6-1-2 their last 9. This just seems like one of those games where 2 very good goalies caught a hot. Is confirmed for Philadelphia, and it's likely going to be Markstrom for Calgary. These teams played, I think they played, it was a 4-0 game in Calgary just a few days ago. So I think it was a 4-0 game. If memory serves me correctly, it was. At the end of October, I'm going to look for a similar type game, a low-scoring game. How about a 2-1, 3-1 type of game and under 5.5 is my best bet. Buster, where are we going?
Well, Carmine, I'm actually in that same game with you. As far as promotions, I already gave those couple, but we were number 1 in college basketball last year, so we have a promotion going probably for the next couple of weeks, but once we get into conference play and that, it'll be gone, that promotion. So you can basically get the whole year of college basketball from us right to the Final Four in March, or actually first week of April, for I believe it's 300, 350. So you can head over to my page. It's sm.buzz/BS. And if you're into college basketball, we do pretty well in that sport as well. So head over there, check that out. Like I said, Carmine, I'm in that same game. So my play is going to be Calgary first period puck line -0.5 plus 180. Just think Calgary's always been playing well. They get the jump on teams, even on the road. They had the jump on the Rangers that game. They actually, even when they lost to Montreal, they had the first period lead there. Philadelphia's notorious for being a slow starting team. And Calgary, I just really, when I looked at this play stood out. We actually had them on. We played this play for our clients on Sunday against Ottawa, and we'll give it another go here. So Calgary, first period puck line, -0.5, plus 180. And as always, enjoy doing the show with you guys.
Always great to have you, Buster. Lots of fun today on the show. Lots of great opinions on the show. And gotta love that first period plus price, plus 180. Calgary first period. I mean, it's no 55-1 golf winner, but it's still a plus 180 first period play. Carmine has Calgary, Philadelphia under the posted total of 5.5. And I have Carolina, Vegas over 5.5, -125. Thank you guys so much for watching right here on WagerTalk TV. WagerTalk today is coming up next at 12 o'clock Eastern time. Mr. Bianco will be on with Teddy and the Prez. And on behalf of Carmine and Buster, I'm Andrew, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
The WagerTalk You Pick special is live, giving you the option to pick the league of your choice and get 30 days of picks for only $99. 30 days of the NFL for $99, done. Just want NBA and NHL for the next month? You can do that for only $99 each. That's right, $99 gets you every release from the league of your choice from your favorite handicapper, including 5% best bets for 30 days. No coupon code is required, and 30-day sports passes will go back to regular price Sunday at midnight. So lock in as many sports and handicappers for only $99